Hey, what's going on guys? Jolts here, back with another build video, and today we're going to be going over Flare Fist Amara. Now, some of you guys might know the Gladiator Amara build. This build is a combination of that and also the new skill tree. So it's going to be a melee build with the combination of the new Phase Flare action skill. You know, that giant ball of death that kills everything in one frame. Anyways, if you want to download it for yourself, I will link it in the description, and that save is going to be in PC format. So the save's only going to work on PC. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into the build. Starting off, our only weapons are going to be the Psycho Stabbers and the Face Puncher. The Psycho Stabber has the highest melee damage in the game, sitting at 340%, so that is going to be one of your best weapons for poking enemies and also charging your Phase Flare Ball. For the Annoyance, you definitely want to get the 390 Annoyance, because that Annoyance is going to apply to any source of damage. That means when you poke the enemy, you're going to do massive damage on your first hit. Because we're going to be doing so much damage, it's pretty much going to one-shot most basic enemies. Now, a second Psycho Stabber is not really needed, but if there is an enemy below 90% HP, that means that 390 Annoyance will not be active. So for a melee build, the only other Annoyance that really matters is this one. You don't need it, but you can go for it if you want to. For the Face Puncher, same thing, you don't need the 100% melee damage Annoyance, but you definitely want the 390 Annoyance. Now, the reason why you want 14 pellets is because of the new Body and Mind skill. With that skill, if you melee an enemy, you're going to create a Nova. The Face Puncher shoots melee damage, so 14 melees equals 14 Novas. Yeah, it's a little bit broken. Also, the Face Puncher is good for enemies out of range. Sometimes you'll fight somebody, far away, or a flying enemy. For the shield, Stinger Shield. When your shield breaks, you create a Nova, and that Nova counts as melee damage. As for the Annoyant, you want to go for Action Skill Start. For the Grenade, you can use whatever you want. The only two grenades that really benefit for a melee build are either Fish Slap or the P-Nade. When you chuck the Fish Slap, it counts as a melee hit, so it's also really good for activating your Guardian Rank skill Groundbreaker. For the class mod, the Muse. This is one of the best melee class mods. You can see there we can roll 3 on Illuminated Fist, which means 300% bonus melee damage. Yeah. And finally, for the artifact, you want to go for a Knife Drain Static Charge. Now, the Static Charge part isn't really needed, but it actually helps quite a bit if you have it. The most important part is getting Knife Drain on it. We're not speccing down to Sustainment, which means we need some healing somehow. With the Knife Drain, we can shoot the Face Puncher, and we're back to full HP. As for the passives, if you're lucky, you can roll double melee on it. We have some more Stinger Shields, a Frozen Heart, which you don't need, and a Knife Drain White Elephant. The Static Charge is good for chaining enemies, but when it comes to a 1v1, White Elephant's going to be a little bit better. We have the Unleash the Dragon. When your Stinger Shield goes off, you do massive melee damage on the Nova, and because it does count as a melee attack, it does activate this. That means your enemy's going to take a massive, big damage over time. Finally, a Cutpurse Launchpad just for the Face Puncher. If we need ammo back, we have this. Alright, that's it for the gear, so let's go over the skill tree. First off, Phase Flare. This skill is broken. And I mean broken. Why, you might ask? Well, it gets mayhem scaling from action skill damage, melee damage, double dips the 390 Annoyance, it gets splash damage bonuses, it's stupid. So the way Phase Flare works is it has a hidden health bar. If you punch it too many times and do enough damage, the ball breaks. Also when you punch it, your melee skills are going to power it up, so depending on how hard you hit the ball, the more damage it gets. For the first skill, No Mistakes in Nature, when you put a status effect on the enemy, you get more melee damage. Heavy Rain, you get more projectile speed and splash damage. Remember, the ball gets splash damage, so you're going to be boosting that, and also you're going to boost the Body and Mind skills Novas. Unweave the Rainbow, you get bonus damage of your attuned element when you deal melee or splash damage to a frozen enemy. Now, I will say that most enemies die in one shot, so it's not often you're going to be freezing enemies. The reason we took it is because the other two skills aren't really needed for the build. Only 1 point in Ebb and Flow to move down the tree. When you melee kill an enemy, you're going to get Lifesteal. So in one melee kill, you're doing so much damage, you're going to jump back to full HP. Combo Breaker. When you kill an enemy with a melee attack, you have a chance to reset all of your cooldown. Joyful Freedom. When you activate your action skill, you're going to get more melee damage. Now, this will be really good for charging Phase Flare. Burn Both Ends. When you activate your action skill, you get increased threat for a short time. So if enemies are mad at you, you're going to stack damage. Now, that damage applies to all sources of damage too. The only issue is you can't see how many stacks you have because there's no visual indicator. If you max it out, you can get up to 75% bonus damage. That is a lot. Body and Mind. This is that skill I was referring to before. So when you get a kill, your melees will do splash damage. That is what you saw in the intro with all those Novas around the enemies. So when you poke the enemy with a melee attack, you're going to get 1 Nova. But if you shoot the Face Puncher for 14 melee attacks, you get 14 Novas. That is why this skill is so good. Free the Soul. When you kill a frozen enemy, splinters are going to fly out and hum into other enemies. Atman. you will get more action skill damage, so your phase flare is going to be even more crazy. Finally, for the purple tree skills, we have Clear the Mind. When you get a kill, you ignore enemies' elemental resistances. For example, using fire damage on shields is normally not good, but with this skill you can bypass the damage reduction and have neutral damage. Now, if enemies are completely immune to an elemental type, this skill will not work on them. For the augment, Expedite, when you get a kill with your action skill, you get increased action skill cooldown rate. For the green tree, we have Root to Rise, and that's going to give us bonus HP. Now, we don't super need it, but we got to move down, so we did take it. However, we did take Arm Steel. That is going to increase your splash damage, so that will boost Phase Flare and your Body and Mind skill. Samsara, when you damage enemies with your action skill, you're going to get a stack, and that can stack 5 times. Phase Flare is out for a long time, so you're going to have max stacks all the time. That bonus damage is pretty much only going to be good for the Phase Puncher. Finally, for green, we have Find Your Center. You will get 100% more melee damage. Also, you can dash your enemies when you're close enough with a melee attack. Now for orange, we have Steady Hands. You get increased weapon handling and accuracy. Now, this skill doesn't really do a whole lot, but we gotta move down the tree. To move down, we gotta spend 2 more points, and so we took Infusion. This doesn't really help a melee build, but we gotta move down. Tempest, you get a big increase on elemental damage and shock damage. You want this. Finally, 1 point in Illuminated Fist. That will give you 75% more melee damage. Now, it's 4 out of 1 because of my class mod. For the last 5 points, we put it into Do Harm. When we get a kill, we get a stack of Rush, and that can stack 10 times. Then you activate your action skill, consume all of your Rush stacks, and get action skill damage. More damage on Phase Flare, who doesn't want that? Alright, that's it for these skill trees, so let's go ahead and show off the build. 99% of the time for mobbing, you want to go for the Cryo Augment, because we do have Clear the Mind, which means enemies are not going to have a, damage resistance. That means our Cryo damage is going to 1, slow down the enemy, or 2, freeze them. When you freeze an enemy, you get triple melee damage. Oh, here's a good example here. So this guy resists Cryo normally, but it doesn't matter. So here's the Stinger shield when it goes off, so if he actually breaks my shield, yeah, you can see we do a Cryo Nova and instantly kill them. Now, let's go ahead and show off a chain, so we're going to punch this guy. And you can see the static charge chain goes out for 25 million damage. I didn't really slide much to charge it up, so it could have been even more. Alright, let's show off the Body and Mind skill. So 14 hits a melee with the Face Puncher, 14 Novas. Aw, you resist Cryo? I don't care. Alright, let's do the ball, so summon it, bring it back, and then punch it once. For most simple mobs, you only have to punch it once, and you can see there, 142 million. Yeah, it's complete overkill for your basic mobs. Now for bossing, you might want to punch it like 2 or 3 times. Once you punch the ball once, you can kind of drag it around by pressing action skills, so we come over here, bring it over, and I got barreled, cool. But basically, you kind of drag the ball around and kill stuff. Alright, let's go ahead and take on a boss. Alright, now for Trot, normally I would do Shock and easily kill him, but let's go ahead and do a bad element on him, like, I don't know, Corrosive. That would not be good, but the ball does so much damage that it doesn't really matter, so we're gonna bring it back. And let's go ahead and do it twice just to be safe. Oop, the wall went up. Yeah, you can see there, he still dies in 1 shot. Also, you did not see a damage number because that would have been over 1 billion damage. Remember, you summon the ball, it has a hidden HP value. Your melees build up the damage on it, and remember, you're holding 390 annoyance, so you get a really hard hit. But when the ball impacts the boss or enemy or whatever, it stacks the 390 annoyance again. The ball is ridiculous. Jolts, why do you never show Sponge Boss? Alright, we're gonna do it. So summon the ball, bring it back, stack the damage. Let's do it one more time. That should be good. Opens the door. He's dead. Oh, by the way, Sponge Boss has the most HP in the game. Anyways, I think that's gonna be it for the build video. I do hope you guys enjoyed it, and I do want to bring up that don't be surprised if this gets nerfed in the future. For now, go ahead and enjoy it, and again, you can download it with the link in the description, but that save file is only going to work on PC. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy the video, then please be sure to leave a like, because that would be awesome. And if you guys really enjoyed it, be sure to sub. You guys have a great day, and I will see you all later. Peace out.